So as I finish my story up here, part one, this is part two. God, how many parts can there be? I don't know. I guess as many parts as you want, right? So I was speaking of different feelings and things that I learned over the years and different jobs that I look back now and think, wow, how exciting was that? That you can learn something in your life and apply it to yourself for as long as you may. Wouldn't that be lovely? To learn something that you could use the rest of your life. I like that. You know why? Because you're going to get the best out of it, aren't you? It's always a good idea, and that's probably why I wash my shoes. I want to walk in them a little longer. If you take care of them, they will. Yeah, you can't put them in the washer. You got to put them up on the sink and scrub them. There's something refreshing in that for me. But anyway, I wanted to get back on here and talk about some of the different things. I think I had mentioned that if you want to meet God, you don't need a Bible. These are facts. If you want to meet the Lord Jesus Christ, or you don't want to even jump in the New Testament, you'd like to stay in the Old Testament, though he was professed and prophesied. Let's talk about just a person that's never owned a Bible, okay? Sorry about that. This fan's kind of getting on my nerves at this point. Let's talk about the fact that some people may not even have a Bible. They don't have any interest in a Bible. I like those people. You know why? Because you never know when they may. Even if that door is just a little cracked, you could swing it wide open, right? Or could you slam it? You could peek out. Met those people that peek? They peek out. They listen to other people's phone calls. Are you one of them? Do you peek out of your little peek hole in your door? I would say you should. I got one. It's always nice to know what's going on around you. The perimeter. And the perimeter in the store. What's on the perimeter of your mind and house and store. What's always never the junk food that's in the middle, right? What's in the middle of your heart today? Mine is a lot of different things that I come on here and share. I think what my driving thing is that it's hard to journal. I've bought journal books. Oh, and by the way, I don't tell you everything. It's impossible. And I have like a spirit in me that says, stop, you've said enough. Privacy is beautiful. It's so beautiful you don't even know how much to take. Especially when you're embarrassed of things you said and you did. Maybe you were under the influence of alcohol. Maybe you were just having a bad day and you didn't have a drop of alcohol or wine or herb or pills or whatever made you jump off a cliff and show too many of your emotions. That you had to pull back and be real quiet. That you couldn't stand in that. Just stand in that. I think over the years I learned in therapy and out of therapy. I haven't been in therapy a while, but it takes a lot to go in therapy, you guys. Especially if you had parents like Miss Cool. Especially if you would like to better oneself. Instead of telling just one person, which is always good to have one person to vent to, but don't kill it, you know. At some point you do have to throw a trash can away. You know, they just get real ugly if you know, have one around long enough and you don't rinse it out and shake it up and pour it out in the outside and take a hose to it. That's how I think some people treat other people, as trash cans. Like, it's okay for a while and stuff, but at some point it's like, hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. But usually it's a good idea if they do find someone they can talk to and trust. But back to the person that shows their emotions. Maybe they share too much. Have you met them? They come back at you and you know that they're telling you about what they had said and adding something to it. Why? It's an obvious. They were embarrassed they shared that with me. They felt uncomfortable. Why do people feel uncomfortable when they make a mistake? Where does it say we have to be perfect? Where does it ever say that we got life down? Where does it ever say it will in a script or a movie? But usually most movies that I am attracted to have a happy ending, have learning experiences in it, have someone that, is going to be on the edge of their seat in an emotional state and go, oh, I felt like that. Why can't we do that with one another? Why are we so worried if we're transparent to a certain degree? Remember, Miss School likes privacy too. If you think I'm going to tell you everything, you're out of your mind. So hold your tongue, okay? Hold your tongue on that. One thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is a lot of things. So there's many things. It's not one thing. But one thing for sure, there's many facets or whatever to people that, keeps life interesting if they share. If you can share an experience that taught you something, like the chef and the cup, how many times you're going to pick that up? It was just a wonderful moment, okay? It's when you dwell on the bad in your life, but you can go back to a place you were to see how far you came. But people can't connect that with a scale. Let's weigh you. We're at the doctor's office. Let's weigh you in. Oh, okay. Well, what were you and where are you going? I'm not saying it's wrong to weigh. I'm not saying it's wrong to calculate and get the numbers. But what I am saying is we can say where we were, where we are, and where we're going. Listen, let me tell you what. If you were a victim like Miss School and you're a survivor, or you had a baby at a young age and you can pull out all the good that was in that for you that made you who you are today, how could that ever be an impossible negative? It's wonderful. It gives you new perspective. Since I got my eyes fixed, you guys, from this wonderful doctor that I have a picture of, he's so kind, so sweet and loving. He changed my life. A lot of my art I don't even like. Does it take a big person to come on here and say that? Absolutely. Some of my paintings I adore, okay? Some of them are perfect to me, but some of them are flawed. Some of them, now that my eyes are fixed, I ask myself, could I go back in at them? Could I fix that stream? Could I fix that impressionistic view? Some of them are just the way they are. I don't like perfect things, do you? I don't want anything to be like the same. I like to kind of move with stuff. But consistency is great. So to have consistency, that's great. It's just all these different feelings and words and different things that you anticipate and that vary. I would much rather be consistent on a place where I go to eat, or else I wouldn't be going there. Because the last time I was there, it was really good. Oh, so I went again and everything changed? The menu changed. They're not as kind. Things like that. You want certain things to be consistent, okay? Because that's when you exercise, you're consistent. But you want to change things up, in other areas of your life. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about what I feel. I do know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about how it's okay to change in the seasons. And it's okay to be in your house. It's okay to want to find God without a Bible. That's what I really want to push on you today. Because I enjoy that. Anyways, when you're disruptive, it's probably going to bring change. Being disruptive brings change. If you think about that. So, and self-care is a sacred act. It's sacred to take care of yourself. Isn't it beautiful? Another thing a lot of people don't want to hear about, I wrote a few things down today that I wanted to share. Just a few little notes. I can brag. I'm a 9th grader. And I want to be a 9th grader right now in this moment, but I want to learn all I can learn. What I want to take from it. I like to look at a lot of people in these different religious churches. I've been in and out of plenty of them. Like I said, it's like a buffet, you know. I would never want to pay a price to go through a buffet and just, you know, eat one thing. Now, if you said you want to eat the salad, there's a lot of things on the salad bar. But just eat that one thing. Imagine just having that dry, old one thought. Not being able to kind of push something in that's new. You know? So, you know, if you do the same thing every day, what did they say? You'll go insane, right? But besides that, you learn those little things on your own. But when David fought Goliath, I have friends that I adore and love, but it got to be too much because they just want to conform you. And not just religion, okay, guys? It's not just religious people that want to conform you. I'm getting choked up. Because a lot of people expect you to change for them in order for you to be loved. It's wrong. You are a wonderful person alone. But David, in the Bible, didn't pray for Goliath. He hit him. He hit him with a rock. People have anger. So many people have tried to tell me in my life that anger is so terrible. It's a lie. Anger's good if it's controlled and done like. Anger is, to me, and other people have said that I want to share, is dealing with other people's hurt. Did you know that? Anger is dealing with the people that have hurt you. Something else to think about, isn't it? So it's not your anger. You want to be accountable. You want to be able to filter it. You want to be able to say, hey. But if you get behind it, the story behind the story, if you get to why is the house rotted? I don't know, there's termites. I don't know. Why is the banana bread taste funny? Why you put too much baking soda? Why? Why is a person the way they are? There's always a story behind a story. But this anger thing that people have told you shouldn't have, churches tell you shouldn't have it. Guess what? It's part of life. It's the disruption that brings change. And anger can bring you there. You know? I'm not talking about some kind of crazy psycho anger where, you know, these people are, you know, destroying other people's lives, you know, physically or anything. I'm talking about in one's personal life and journey. Don't let anyone tell you that you're an angry person. Well, you might be part of the anger for saying that. You know? You have to learn a lot, and sometimes you can live a long time and not learn. Personally, I've lived a while and I've learned. I've learned a lot of things I didn't want to learn. But hey, guess what? Today is a day when you can know that if a church is telling you to conform, wear their clothes. I'm talking churches that really take the Word of God to a degree that's like, hey, this is not comfortable. So then what you do is you lick your finger and turn the page. And you're just kind about it. I looked at these Mennonites I went to church with off and on for some years, I settled it with myself. Isn't that beautiful? I looked at it as a Bible college. You know, they've never seen a movie. One of them didn't even know who Elvis was. Her husband had bought a key at Walmart, and then I noticed it was blacked out, but I guess she did know because she blacked out the key that had Elvis's picture on it. They don't know movie stars. They live a life like that, and those are their choices. Are they odd? Absolutely. Do they own a TV and want to know what's going on in the world? No. Everything. Okay? Are they overcompensating for not wanting to be a natural human being? I would say so. Does it crush creativity and colors and beauty? Absolutely. So when you are wanting a group of people to all think the same, it's absolutely toxic. There's no love. There's no beauty. It's all just like, I'm not trying to say that there's nothing wrong with harmony. I mean, you can strike a chord on a guitar. You can be in a group and you can sing harmony. But to actually stop singing and live that way, I gotta say no gracias. No thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and pass. But I can still love them because they taught me so much that I needed, you know? Isn't it beautiful what you need, you know? On my walk today, I walked by these two Oriental people. Now I got to be careful when I say that, because once I had a dentist that's Asian, and I said I never had an Oriental dentist. Innocently, you guys, I'm innocent on some of the stuff I say. For although those are out there that would look at me and say something against what I said, I'm sharing it with you. Draw it what you may, call it what you may. But in that moment, I was innocent, and God knew my heart. And he said, I'm not an Oriental rug. I'm Asian. So we got a lot of cultures, racism going on. I automatically apologize. But then I went to Sam's that day. I think I've told this story. And I was, coincidentally, is there coincidences? By a man. And I asked him, I said, can I ask you something? Because I can see you're Asian. And I told him that very story I just told you. And his perception was completely different than the Oriental dentist, I can say. He said, it's okay you said Oriental. I said, why? He goes, because some of us Asians are from the Orient. See, so it's like, it's the person. It's you know, there's been people, there's one in particular person in my family that's, I said, you know, I know that, well, should I share? Well, go ahead. Have you ever asked a person if they're Mexican or not, and they get really mad and they say, no, I'm Spanish? Or, you know, things like that. It's different. We just have to respect one another. But back to when I took my walk this morning, you guys. I took my walk this morning, right? I know it's bad for my teeth, right? But I wouldn't have taken that off if it wasn't already loose. Do you see? Some of it's been drunk out of it, so it wasn't really tight. I could be a little crab and have a claw hand. So, on my walk this morning, this is my second day because I've gone early. Well, they go sit where I walk through. Let me tell you what, she's got silk-like pajamas on, going like that, and doing all her posing, okay? And he sits with his hands open. And guess what? He was 77 years old, and I stopped and I talked to him today. It was really cool. Very special. You could just feel the love on him. I liked it. It was special. Then I talked to a man on the way up walking that goes to one of our grocery store Smiths and was just loading up his whole car to take for the people that the homeless don't have food. The food was looking real good. Like nectarines and bread and treats and lots of healthy stuff too. You meet people out when you get out walking. You don't have to stay stagnant in your place or around the same kind of people that only like what you like. Remember, Miss Cool had a tear just about a minute or two ago. I did. I had a tear for people that expect you to be like them or they drop you like hotcakes. It's sad, isn't it? that you have to be like somebody else in order for them to like you. Yeah, to conform. People expect you to conform in marriages and friendships, to wear clothes like them, to believe in their doctrines. They can't just love you for who you are. I think it makes sense now when people say we don't talk about politics or religion, because there's been too many wars and fights over them. So it's Miss Cool saying, have a wonderful day. Sorry I had a tear today, but that's part of my process in healing. You know, think about tears, think about feelings, think about shame and mistakes. There's a difference. You know, we're entitled to make mistakes. It's when you know it's a mistake and you keep doing it, right? It's Miss Cool saying, have a wonderful day. And always know that you can have anger. You can walk away from certain people that try to tell you that they don't have anger and only you do. You know? Put on a smile, say hello, and don't ever walk past a rose and not smell it or know it's there. Because there's so much beauty that's for free. Bye now.